Hey guys, it's me, Christina. So it's Fragment Friday, and I'm going to do a fragment on Linger by Maggie Stiefvater. And this is the second book in the Mercy Falls series. The first one is called Shiver, and the third one is Forever. So I'm going to read from where I am, which is chapter 6, which is entitled Grace. You love my bookmark. It's a kitty in a frog costume. That is just really cute. Okay. You know, Isabel said, when I told you to call me on the weekend, I didn't mean for you to call me so we can go tramping through the trees in sub-freezing temperatures. She frowned at me, looking pale and oddly at home in these cold spring woods, wearing a white parka with fur-lined hood that framed her slender face and icy eyes. A sort of lost, neurotic princess. I'm not sub-freezing, I said. It's not sub-freezing, I said, knocking a clod of soft snow off the sole of my boot. All things considered, it's not bad. And you wanted to get out of the house, didn't you? It really wasn't bad. It was warm enough that the snow had mostly melted in the areas where the sun could reach. It was only under the trees that the patches remained. The few degrees of extra warmth lent a gentler look on the landscape, infusing the grays of winter with color. Though the cold still numbed the end of my nose and my fingers were snug inside their gloves. You should be leading the way, actually, I said. You're the one who's seen them here. These woods that stretched behind Isabel's parents' house were unfamiliar to me. A lot of pines and some kind of straight up and down gray bark tree that I didn't know. I was sure Sam would have been able to identify them. Well, it's not like I've gone jaunty in the woods after them before, Isabel replied. But she walked a little faster until she caught up with me, and we were walking side by side, separated by a yard or two, stepping over fallen logs and underbrush. I just know they always appeared on the side of the yard, and I've heard them howl in the direction of the lake. Two Island Lake, I asked. Is that far from here? Feels far, Isabel complained. So what is it we're doing here? Scaring wolves away, looking for Olivia? If I had known Sam was going to squeal you like a little girl about this, I would have said anything. All the above, I said, except the squealing bit. Sam's just worried. I don't think that's unreasonable. Right, whatever. Do you think there's a real chance Olivia could have changed already? Because if there's not, maybe we should take a morning stroll back to my car and get a coffee somewhere else. I pushed a branch out my way and squinted. I thought I could see the shimmer of water through the trees. Sam says it's not too early for a wolf to change, at the least for a little bit. When it gets to be a warm snap like today, maybe. Okay, but we're getting coffee after we don't find her, Isabel pointed. Look, the lake's up there. Happy? Mm-hmm. I frowned, noticing suddenly that the trees were different than before, evenly spaced and further apart, which tangled soft, relatively new growth for underbrush. I stopped short when I saw color peeking out of the dull brown thatch at our feet. A crocus, a little finger of purple with an almost hidden throat of yellow. A few inches away, I spied more bright green shoots coming up through the old leaves, and more blossom, signs of spring, and more than that, signs of human application. In the middle of the forest, I felt like kneeling to touch the petals of the crocus to confirm that they were real, but Isabel's watching eye kept me standing. What is this place? Isabel stepped over a branch to stand beside me and looked down at the patch of brave little flowers. Oh, that? Back in the glory days of our house before we lived here, I guess the owners had a walkway down to the lake and a little garden thing here. There are benches closer to the water and a statue. Can we see it? I was fascinated by the idea of a hidden, overgrown world. We're here. There's one of the benches. Isabel led me a few feet closer to the pond and kicked a concrete bench with her boot. It was stretched with long green moss and occasional flower blossom of orange lichen. I might not have noticed it without Isabel's direction. Once I knew where to look. However, it was easy to see what the shape of the sitting area had been. There was another bench a few feet away, and a small statue of a woman with her hand brought up to her mouth, as if with wonders, her face pointed toward the lake. More flowers bulbs, their shoots bright green and rubbery looking, poked up around the statue base and benches. I saw a few more crocuses in the patchy snow beyond. Beside me, Isabel scrubbed her foot through the leaves and looked down. This is the stone under here, like a patio or something. I guess. I found it last year. I kicked at the leaves like she did, and sure enough, my toes scuffed stone. So that was my fragment of Linger by Maggie Stiefvater. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next Friday.